So that's the only reason I'm here tonight. That's not fair, I say. So to Ivana, I give you a special thanks and congratulations because this is really your night, Madeline. Congratulations. Good luck, everybody. Thank you very much.
It looked too good to be true, and it was. She was a mother, a wife, a casino executive, a fashion plate. No wonder she talked so fast.
What's good for Atlantic City, it's good for Trump, as a Trump, because as nicer the city is going to become, and as more visitors we are going to bring in, not only at Trump, but Atlantic City is going to benefit from.
Like everything else in Trump's story, the facts his publicity machine ground out about Ivana were just the point of departure. Born in Czechoslovakia, she made a marriage of convenience to an Austrian, allowing her to leave and join her lover in Montreal. There she was a runway model, not a top fashion model, as Trump and his publicist said. She was an accomplished skier, but not an Olympic skier as publicized. Donald and Ivana met in a New York singles bar. They were married in 1977 by the Reverend Norman Vincent Peale, the exponent of the power of positive thinking. The Trumps had 3 children, but Ivana wanted more.
I was a girl and I was young, and I was supposed to be at home. I was supposed to be maybe collecting the art. I wasn't supposed to be in their domain. I wasn't supposed to be running hotel and casino, which was a totally male-oriented business.
Now she started at the top, promoting the Trumpian vision as the titular president of Trump's Atlantic City castle. But as she helped her husband, she also established herself. She became, in a sense, a competitor for media attention.
There is competition in certain marriages. This one, since the marriage seemed to be played out more in the tabloid press and in the broadsheet newspapers of New York, rather than in a private household, that there is a competitiveness there for headlines, for attention.
But for all the smiles and the glittering entrances at society events, this marriage was not as harmonious as it seemed.
If you're good to him, he's incredible to you. If you bad at him, you're dead.
Someone told me once, who was involved in the Trump organization, worked there, that everyone that works for Donald spends 50% of their time worrying about incurring Donald's wrath, except for one person, Ivana Trump. And he said she spends 90% of her time trying to worry about how not to get Donald to yell at her and now how not to incur his wrath.
But even as she worried, she stood up to her husband. It may have been Donald who coveted the biggest yacht in the world. It was Ivana who used it. It may have been Donald who bragged about his Palm Beach house. It was Ivana who loved it.
She has her own little spa there, and I know Barbara Walters, I hear, is coming. So she has many wonderful friends who are in business, who are workers. I guess she's quite a chore worker herself.
I have to ask Ivana to stand up, because if we had this dinner here a year ago, it would not have been the same, believe me. She's done a great job.
When Trump bought the Plaza Hotel, he made her president. Her salary, he said, would be $1 a year and all the dresses she could buy. A way of complimenting her and putting her in her place at the same time. It was also a convenience. His romance with Marla Maples was blossoming. He wanted to install her in Atlantic City, and to do that, he had to bring Ivana back to New York. In 1989, an event that telegraphed the stress in her life, Ivana underwent a physical transformation. Was it to save her marriage? If so, it didn't work. By now, Donald had Marla. When the Trumps finally reached a divorce settlement after reams of gossip column speculation, it looked just like the prenuptial agreement they had all along. But Ivana left with something extra. She became a Trumpian star in her own right, with a 7-figure book deal, a career as an advertising model with a daughter, and the freedom to enjoy the glittering social life her husband so often said he hated. As for Donald, the art of the deal with Marla was to stay in the headlines, but not necessarily close the transaction.